Recently, I played an Izzet Prowess list that was running Drake Hatcher to find out whether or not this card was worth putting into a Prowess list in 2026. And the general takeaway from that video was, well, Drake Hatcher is okay. It's not bad, but it wasn't quite as impactful as I needed it to be. But I wanted to give the card another chance, and I just so happened to come across a Mono Blue Prowess list that was also running Drake Hatcher. So I tested out that list. I did make a few changes to it, but this is similar idea to what that original list was. So we're going to try it out in today's video to see if Drake Hatcher can have a little bit of a better home in a Mono Blue shell. So what's going on with this list? Well, it's pretty obvious, right? We got a bunch of otters. We got our Elusive Otter, and we got our Stormchaser's Talent plus Boomerang Basic Otter. Fantastic. We also got the Blue All-Star Hydro-Man, the Fluid Felon that's going to get bigger every time we cast a blue spell. And then the card that some people had mentioned adding to the deck in that Izzet Prowess list, the Planisphere. This thing is actually pretty sweet. It's like a permanent prowess. Every time we cast a non-creature spell, we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on the creature that the Planisphere is equipped to. Now, if the creature that the Planisphere is equipped to does die, it's still an equipment that we can then equip to one of our otters or maybe the Drake Hatcher and start growing those creatures. So Planisphere is a card that I actually really enjoy playing, and I am excited to try it out in this one. Then the rest of the deck is just a whole bunch of instant and sorcery speed spells, into the Flood Maw, Opt, Secret Identity, and Sleight of Hand. And one new one, Pim Particles. This thing is going to allow our creatures to can't be blocked this turn. It also draws us a card. So this thing could be pretty sweet on a big Otter, maybe on a big Hydro-Man, maybe even on a Drake Hatcher. So we're going to test out the deck, see how it plays, and hopefully give the Drake Hatcher a second chance. See you over in the games. All right, Mono Blue in Standard. I always love playing Mono Blue decks. They are often quite fun, and our opening hand looks to be about as perfect as you could imagine an opening hand being. The only thing is that we're not on the play, and our opponent doing a similar thing. So we're going to have a real battle on our hands this time around. We'll lead on the Stormchaser's Talent just like our opponent did. Is the opponent also playing? Oh, they're playing some beautiful lands over there. You know what? I would argue that their lands are a little bit nicer than my lands. I like them both, but boy, oh boy, that is pretty dang nice. So the opponent uses a Prismari Charm to deal 2 damage, 1 damage to the poor Otter and 1 damage to my face. And you know what? That is okay, because that gives me an opening for Hydro-Man, Fluid Felon. This thing is pretty awesome. I'm a big old fan of Bellion the Parted, I think is what it was called. But Hydro-Man, we were going with the new Spider-Man art, and that is just fine in my book. Depending on how the opponent leaves their mana this turn, we're going to have a couple of options. Maybe we Boomerang Basic back the Stormchaser's Talent and then start creating some more Otters. Get a Hydro-Man pumped up a little bit, start attacking in with that. We also have the Secret Identity sitting here so that we can protect our wonderful Hydro-Man. Okay. They decide to use all of their mana, pump up their Otter just a little bit, and slam in for 4. And we find the Drake Hatcher, which is interesting. So we did make our land drop. Is it better for me to lead on the Drake Hatcher and the Elusive Otter and maybe do the Stormchaser's Talent stuff next turn? I actually don't hate the idea here. So let's commit some creatures to the board. Otter, Drake Hatcher, pump up our Hydro-Man to 4, attack in, and we also get to untap our Hydro-Man at the end of the turn, and hold up our Secret Identity just in case the opponent wants to snipe out our Drake Hatcher. I would prefer to keep that on the field. We also have a sorcery speed spell, Boomerang Basic, and an instant speed spell in our hand. So if we get both of those in the graveyard, suddenly our flow state is going to be a little bit more potent. Now, the opponent attacking in with the 2/2. Whoa, they don't even bluff the attack. I think you got to try there, right? We find our land. That's good. I think I'm going to run out the land because I am a little bit scared of like a Spell Pierce or something like that. So we will just pump. Boomerang Basic back the Stormchaser's Talent. Okay, everything goes through. Fantastic. And I think we just throw the Stormchaser's Talent right on back out onto the field. And we found another Boomerang Basics, which makes me feel like I kind of want to just, yeah, do it again. What could the opponent be sandbagging, right? Like, they probably have something. They do have 2 Great Hall of the Biblioplex, which is going to cost them a little bit of life when they eventually do something. I'm pretty happy with 4-4, 4-6, and 4-5-5. I think I'm probably good to attack in. We are still holding up the secret identity, which is representing a lot of damage if the opponent like tries to get cheeky and block something with pumped up prowess creatures, which seems to be the case. But we, yeah, like I said, we can still really put a lot of power onto the board with all of these prowess triggers still. I feel like they don't have anything that sometimes you get like this indication when the turn order just kind of passes and it just feels like they're done. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have something. Going with the Prismari Charm. So, boom, boom. I think it's worth protecting my thing here. So I make it a 1/1. They've used all their mana. This is also going to... Yeah, it's fine. It's going to trigger the prowess on everything again. It makes everything just a little bit awkward for blocking from the opponent with a 4-4 and a 3-3 against 5-5s and a 6-6. And at the end of the turn, we are going to untap the Hydro-Man, but it's actually kind of irrelevant because we have sorcery speed stuff in hand. Double block on the Drake Hatcher. They desperately do not want Drake Hatcher getting through, but they're taking 11 damage when you're at 1 and you have 2 Great Hall of the Biblioplex. You might want to rethink that one. I don't know. The spot is not super favorable for the opponent. Okay, they end up roping a little bit and then finally decide that they want to do that. I think we hit the Elusive Otter, right? We're going to lose our Drake Hatcher. That's fine. They're going down to 1. I would rather have the option of maybe blocking this Otter a little bit more easily with this Otter if push comes to shove. That's the expression, right? Push comes to shove. And again, they're down to 1. We're going to have the Bellion, the Elusive Otter, and potentially our other Otter, plus draw 2 draw spells. Like, we have a lot of options for the following thing. And they're kind of pinched on their mana now. Poor Great Hall. This card... I see it in a ton of opponents' decks. I haven't really used it. Maybe I've used it like once or twice in some like elementals decks, but for the most part, yeah, there was one video where I was turning it on, making it a wizard, not successfully. I was struggling, I think, in that video. But yeah, I haven't used it enough to really get a good grasp on it. I'm sure it's good. I play more streamlined decks. I'm not venturing too much into 3-color decks. All right, in the kind of mirror match, and you know what? It wasn't quite mirror. They had Izzet colors, and we were superior. Quantum Riddler. Interesting. The last time I played the Izzet deck, somebody commented on the video saying, "Oh, too much Izzet," and I hope this isn't also, in that category of too much Izzet. It's too many Otters. Yeah, I get it. Otters are really annoying and oppressive. Oh boy. Okay, so we are against... I'm going to go out with the Otter, I think, first. We're against Life Gain. So with the Otter on the field, this allows me to maybe trigger it with the Stormchaser's Talent. If I win Stormchaser's Talent first, then the Otter doesn't get triggered when I put up the Elusive Otter. That's the logic there. So they gain 1 life, their Essence Channeler grows ever so slightly, and now we have to make a choice. Do I go Drake Hatcher, or do I go Stormchaser's Talent and hold up the secret identity? I think I'd take the risk and run out the Drake Hatcher, even though I can't attack him with the Elusive Otter. If they have the Shelter by Ghost, we're cooked a little bit. We do not have a ton of interaction in this deck. Our interaction is protecting with the secret identity, or... oh, thank goodness. Or into the Flood Maw. That's all I got. So I'm going to need to do a tremendous amount of damage to the opponent very soon, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But what I know I'm going to be able to do is secret identity, maybe to fly in and get some Drakes on the field. That might be where my game plan is at. Let's opt first. I don't know. Not a land. opt into opt. So am I really going to do Secret Identity this turn? I'm definitely going to be putting the Stormchaser's talent onto the field. And then the Secret Identity allows me to get in. This will make my... This will get this up +3, so it'll be a 6 power thing. And I think having enough blockers is probably worth doing this. They could have a Requiting Hex. Do they? The life gain deck playing the Requiting Hex? It's a legitimate blowout. Ooh, wow. All right, let's go in with the Otter, I guess. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. They put 3 counters on the Cleric, but like... I would rather it... Oh. Okay. That's pretty good. So they actually get to bring back... Wow. We are getting absolutely dismantled by our opponent right now. This is some wicked run-in from them. Didn't expect the Requiting Hex until it was too late, and then... No, we're really dead. That's what I guess happens when you underestimate what a life gain deck can do when it has all the right cards in hand. We're very dead. Very dead. GG. Absolutely dismantled. And they deserved it. So GG to you, opponent. It was some bad play on my side and some expert navigation of this matchup by the opponent. The way they used the Requiting Hex there and then had the Mozio and then block with the Essence Channeler and then had the Mozio to come back and pull the Essence Channeler out. It just like, it was so oppressive against me that I just feel like maybe I should quit this game. Like, I'm clearly out of my league here. I think that last game was a masterclass lesson in underestimating your opponent. That's exactly what happened there. Hey, this time around we got Stormchaser's talent into the Boomerang Basics and no Drakehatcher, which is, again, we're here to try out the old Drakehatcher. Hey, you know what? You just call into the heavens, Drakehatcher, 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 and whew, swooping in she comes along with her wondrous drakes against a mono green opponent. And if we can next turn bounce whatever they put onto the field and get in cleanly with this Drakehatcher, we might actually get some benefit. We don't even... Oh, you know what this means, though? This means Ugin's coming. Ugin's coming to town. Okay, let's see what is underneath this Stormchaser's talent. Next turn, they're going to have 5 mana, but it's in green. It's not a big deal, right? And I think from here, we probably want to do one more. We want to opt and try to find something juicy. What we might end up doing on the following turn is Willow Rush Verge. Is that juicy? That triggers my Stormchaser's talent, but I think probably I don't want it, right? Didn't want that. I guess I was going to draw that on the following turn anyways. So we have plenty of lands. What we might end up doing is the Grove's Bounty on the following turn to distribute some +1/+1s. Now, I didn't really talk about this. We are playing a... Uh-oh. I forgot that this card exists in the format. Uh-oh. What's coming? Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a disaster. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. I keep the Into the Flood Maw. Ireni just blasts everything. They have the Rapid Mikey. Wow. Okay. Well, at least I can activate this and get a 2/2 out of it. This has protection from white, at least. It's not protection from Jimmy. Alright, so we'll take a cool 13 and die on the following turn. Yeah, mic drop. Mic drop. Yep. I think that's my cue to leave. Oh, standard. Please get better. Please be better. It really is my fault. What am I doing queuing in without interaction, right? Why am I not at least playing Spell Pierces? Maybe that would be an okay thing to include in our blue deck here. I think same logic, Elusive Otter, even though I wouldn't mind saving the Grove's Bounty for something in that last game. You know, it wouldn't have really helped. If we had maybe one extra turn, I don't know if we would have had enough damage to kill them on the following turn. It's possible, but yeah, that was real dicey. Okay, we are against a probably, what is that card called? It's going to be a Superior Spider-Man list where they're just going to try to bring some nasty stuff out of their graveyard. Are they going to use 2? Do they really have 3 removal spells? Wow, 2 into the Floodmaw and a Requiting Hex for our opponent in the opening hand, and they're making their land drops. But we do have a little bit of hope in the form of Drake Hatcher. Drake Hatcher, I put so much faith in you. Please do something. I need you to do something. Okay. The opponent has tapped out. So if this sleight of hand ends up drawing us into a couple of good spells, then maybe we can actually get some counters onto the Drake Hatcher and possibly, hate to see it. You hate to see the lands like that. The original list was running 19 lands, and I just could not go with the 19 lands. It was too much. So I bumped it up to 21, and then I actually went back down to 20. I think it was 19. Probably 20 shouldn't be too many. Clearly it is. Clearly it is. Okay, so the good news is we get to hold up our secret identity. I think it's probably prudent to do that. The opponent next turn will have 5 mana. But I think this is fine. So we attack in for 4. We get 4 counters onto the Drake Hatcher. That allows us to create 1 Drake. And then protect our Drake Hatcher for potentially more in the future. We can also get to the point where we're going to level up our Stormchaser's talent. They crack the Soul Guide Lantern to try to find something interesting. Okay, well, Drake to the field. We have to work. I feel like we have to work very hard to get wins with this deck. Okay, that resolves. There was a little pause there. I wasn't really sure what the game. Could you not? Could you not give me so many lands? Okay, let's see. I hope they drew something. Oh, yeah. Okay, the Requiting Hex here is actually kind of good because this allows my Drake Hatcher to get up a little bit bigger. We also get a little bit of extra damage in with this Otter. Bro, do you have another? Surely not. Well, okay, negate. I can handle that, I guess. It's pretty good though. Would have preferred my Drake Hatcher to get in, but this is fine. What do we got to grab? We got to grab the Boomerang Basics, right? Yeah. Okay, so we still have a 2/2 and a 1/1 on the field. The opponent did miss their land drop last time. They find their land finally. It's a blue source though, so if they are playing Excruciator, I believe Excruciator is my favorite card. The deadliest of cover-ups. Always finding its mark when a black deck needs it. It shows up, ruining our time here. And unfortunately, we don't have any haste in this mono blue list. They take my poor Elusive Otters, which I'm okay with. So I do have the option now to actually level this up to level 3. Is it better? You know what? Yeah, let's try it. Level 3, Stormchaser's Talent. It has never ever gone wrong for me in my entire life. We get to opt make something. Oh, it's so good. It's so good for us, right? Okay, Stormchaser's Talent. They do have the Risen Reef here that we should probably be aware of, and that is a counter on our 3 steps ahead. They get to draw 2, find their best card here. So that sucks. But do we now take the opportunity to bounce the Furdock Core? And I think the answer is yes. We bounce the Furdock Core, and I think I'm going to save the opt for the next turn. I'm also going to hold on to the Willow Rush Verge. I don't know why. Maybe they know it's there. I guess I probably didn't need to do that. Petrified Hamlet doesn't really do anything against us, so that's fine. Mistrized Village not in our deck. Are they going to get to the point where they're turning on the Restless Reef? Deadly Cover-Up number 2. Unbelievable. They cannot take my opt, so have at it. At the end of this turn, at least we're going to have at least one otter. If we go opt into opt, maybe... Yeah, I think we fire it off. And this is... Okay, so all of our Stormchaser's talents are now gone. Ooh, don't need that. They took so many of the good cards out of our deck that I think we're left with just trash. Okay. Planisphere. They cannot turn on the Risen Reef yet. But I guess they're getting pretty close to throwing down the Furdock Core and then having the mana to be able to do that. If it's a land... Oh my gosh. Unholy Annex. Unholy Annex plus Furdock Core is so good for them. What? If they found a Requiting Hex, I might just... It's an opt. It's an opt. You opt now. Try to find... We need to find our draw spell. Go away. Come on. The opponent went... What did they go? They went Deadly Cover-Up into Unholy Annex into Requiting Hex. And I get to go island, 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 island. I'm probably exaggerating, but I don't think I'm exaggerating that much. Very, very minor exaggeration. Please give me a flow state. Oh, thank God. That's what I needed, was the flow state. This is the card that saves us. Drake Hatcher plus flow state? Okay, fine. Flow state again? For the love of... Okay, good. Good. We bounce... Okay, what do we do? There's... Is it possible that they found another... Okay. Let's just get rid of this demon. And this allows us to get in some damage. This allows us to get in lethal damage. I'm going for it, right? You go for it in this spot, you have to. I don't think they have anything. What a hard-fought battle. The Otters finally... We just needed to not draw a land. Could you imagine the situation where, please just give me a flow state, and then things really go crazy because you can just find flow states into flow states. Oh, I was getting upset there. Okay, game number 5. These ones have been going a little bit slower than the normal stuff, usually. This hand looks good to me. We always love to see Bellion. I think when your Hydro-Man shows up, your Bellion, Hydro-Man, I don't know what to call him. I got so used to calling him Bellion that it's kind of ingrained in my mind now. We'll go out with the Elusive Otter. It's more... I don't... Is that right to lead on the Elusive Otter insteder of the Stormchaser's talent? Like, certainly the Elusive Otter is more valuable to us in the long run. Attack in. There's a 0% chance they block here. Yeah. So you just bluff the attack because they know that we probably have instant speed spells that we can then pump up the Elusive Otter, get it easy. I guess it's not really a trade. Maybe it's actually not the worst block now that I'm thinking about it, because it kind of forces me to waste one of my spells. I don't know. Plotting the Slickshot. Yep. So, now we have a choice. The first thing we're going to do, obviously, is go out with the Stormchaser's talents. I think we're going to go out with both of them, just to put everything on the field. And... in the case of an emergency, we are going to be able to use the Secret Identity to give one of these untapped otters flying. And if that's the case, like maybe that's the case where I need to jump up in front of a Slickshot show-off when they just like kind of try to load up their Slicky to kill us in one fell swoop. Maybe that could preserve our life total. We are at 19. They need to probably have a land and quite a bit of oomph to get through, because this otter, definitely we're chump blocking with one of the otters. And now using sleight of hand as one of their spells for the turn is probably means that it probably means they don't have enough power. No, never mind. No. They definitely have enough power now. If they have full bore plus fling. Okay. Now, I think we're safe now, right? Because if they have the fling, they attack us for 6 here. 6 damage. 6 damage takes us down to 13, and then they can fling for another 8. That's not lethal damage. So I don't think I need to act too hastily here. And they are at 10. So I think I'm okay. I kind of want them to use that last little bit of mana. Dang. Nothing? Do something. Do something with your mana, please. Fling the Slickshot. Go for it. Boomerang basic on my Elusive Otter. You know, it's not the worst. Okay, do I save it or do I... You know what? I think I save it, because this puts a instant in the graveyard. But if I let them bounce it, that gives me this ability. And then I can load up these otters, but it's not quite while I can load up my Balian. So let me think about this for a second. If I do that next turn, this becomes a 3/4, so it becomes 4 damage. You know what? Let's let them bounce it. Okay. I think it's fine. What do we draw? Drakecatcher's not great. So they can block one of my... they block the Hydro-Man. So if they block the Hydro-Man, we go with this. This gives me a 3/4, a 4, and a 2. And then this allows me to pump again. I think I'm 1 damage short without a land drop. So do I actually need to do flow state? And with the flow state, try to find something? Is that really what I'm doing here? But the flow state only lets me get 1 card. So even if I get just a land, it's not really that great. So if I grab the boomerang, I can bounce this otter. That'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We made the right choice. Oh, stressful situation here. But we found the line. I don't know what. I probably was overthinking it. It probably wasn't as complicated as I was making it, but I think I was 1 damage short with the plan of doing the Grove's Bounty plus the Secret Identity, because they could block one thing. And I think I get the most damage out of doing the 3/4 on the 1/1. I don't get that much damage out of doing Hydro-Man. He would become 4/5. Same thing as if this thing becomes a 4/5, right? The Lethal Lotus is our 6th opponent, and we get to go first, and we get some Drake Hatchers along with the Pim Particles, and we haven't seen Pim Particles do anything in any of these matchups yet, so I'm a little bit curious to see if we can maybe give the Drake Hatcher unblockable and try to get in for some cheeky damage. Now, the opponent is on Auras, so maybe Into the Floodmaw is going to be a pretty key card here if they end up having Sheltered by Ghost. That's the prediction based on a singular planes. I think it's a pretty safe prediction. Seam Rip. Fine by me. Okay, run out our first Drake Hatcher, and we need lands. We need land. We don't need 8 land deck. We don't need 8 lands. What we need, 4. Best I can do is not a land. Okay. But what we do get to do here is a redraw. Is the redraw correct here, or is it Pim Particles? I need to remove 3. Pim Particles allows my Drake Hatcher to be unblockable, and it also lets me draw a card. So you know what? I think this is the way to do it, because I at least get in for 3 damage, and we miss on our land anyways. So 3 damage, kaboom, and we now make 1/2/2 Drake. The opponent with the very cool Grand Entryway, love it. The Elegant Rotundra. When you unlock this door, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. for 3 mana. I love the art on it. Like, the art is just fantastic. Instead, they're going with a Flowerfoot Sword Master Offspring. Interesting. Okay, let's make our 2/2 and land. Not land. Okay, so Boomerang Basics, I think this is probably correct. It's almost always correct just to use your Boomerang Basics on the Stormchaser's talent, right? Like, it's such a basic play, but I think it is always the way to go. And then do we just crash in here holding the Opt and the Into the Floodmaw up? I think so. So they're going to have to obviously start putting... No, okay. That's surprising to me. Land is okay. I think actually it's not too bad because we're going to want to do flow state stuff next turn. I'm just going to do the damage that I'm doing and also put out the Stormchaser's talent. We get another 2/2 Drake. Yes, we missed out on a little bit of damage, but I wasn't really sure how they were going to end up blocking. And with the Into the Floodmaw, I was kind of like expecting to maybe have to use it to save something. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, back to the art here. I love the middle little column thing there between the two. What a cool set. Duskmourn. Same with Bloomburrow. Bloomburrow was pretty awesome, I think. I missed both of those sets when they were releasing, but I kind of fell in love with a lot of the cards from both of those sets. I think I'm going to have to look into maybe, because it's going to be rotating out of standard, maybe their card prices are at their cheapest right now. It's possible. So maybe it might be good to pick up some things. I don't know. Now I kind of regret putting out the Stormchaser's talent just in case they end up having into the, what is it called? Shelter by Ghost. If they have the Shelter by Ghost, they actually gain back like so much life. And it's just going to make things just slightly harder. The opponent says, nice. What does nice mean? That's a big attacker. That's 2 big attackers. That's... okay. Good game, the opponent says. Why are they saying good game? I am scared. So let's block here. Let's block on this thing and allow 6 damage. There's no way they can double this to do 20. You know what? If they can somehow turn that 6 into 20 damage, I will happily take my hat off to the opponent and say, GG, you got me. But I think the opponent is probably just feeling like they don't have anything. Okay. So this should be it. Yeah. We don't even really need to do too much. I guess we flow state, find the Opt or whatever that allows us to do one more thing, and then just attack in for 9. The Carpetbagger. Carpetbagger playing some MTG this morning. We got our nice opening hand with Stormchaser Talents. In the last game, we got to see a Drake Hatcher actually do something. Of course, the opponent looked like they were on a unique build of auras. Always cool to see. But definitely a little bit of, you know, it helps. It allows us to get in when somebody's playing a less refined strategy is what I'm getting at. Let's opt now. Maybe they have a Requiting Hex for my my poor little otter here, and that's fine. Do I want to draw another land? No, I think not. The opponent's on black. Okay, so we made the right choice. The opponent's on black. I'm kind of expecting them to have some ways of removing my otter, and I need to find more creatures. Is what? Okay. We are against dinosaurs, and they have a Trumpeting Carnosaur in their graveyard already. Trumpeting Carnosaur is going to be some bad news for the future because if they... Yikes. Wow, the top of our library was a lot of lands. Too many lands. So they could bring this onto the field right away. I think it's probably okay for us to dig a little bit and, again, try to find some offense. That's the slightest amount. Man, that is a lot of the top of our library without finding a whole lot of creatures. By the way, it's kind of cool, right? I don't know who this character is. Some crazy Mothman, presumably from Duskmourn. Duskmourn always with the crazy stuff. They have the Foggy Swamp Visions here. We're probably dead. There it is. So I kind of now... Them... You know what? Them hit it... Okay. Conduit Pylon into into Gishath on the top of the library happens a little bit too often for my liking. Yeah, I'll say that. A little too often. I do not approve of the frequency in which my opponents are able to do that. Okay, the good news is we're not like super dead. The bad news is we're kind of dead. I think I think what I do is I bounce the Polani Hatcher. It doesn't matter what I bounce. I'm going to bounce both of them. Into the Flood Maw is also going to bounce the Gishath. And am I just doing it now? Yeah. And then we get in with the 2/2 Otter. It's fine. And then hopefully we can maybe kill them soon with, you know, Secret Identity helping the Hydro-Man fly in. Possibly. If we find another Secret Identity, we'll be in really good shape. But I mean, this sets the opponent back quite a bit. They did chip us quite hard. But these two cards now being in their hand, a little bit dead, and they only have the Trumpeting card. A second Gishath off the top of the library from the Conduit Pylon is unbelievable running, and they have the Zombify. Come, no. I won't believe that this this isn't real. There's no way that my opponent could possibly be running that hot with a back-to-back Conduit Pylons putting Gishath into the graveyard, and they just so happen to have the Zombify ready to go. Sure. Okay, we're not dead. We're not dead. We're pretty dead because they're at 14. But I suppose there are some draws that maybe allow me to get them. Discover again. Discover into another lattice. Okay, those are fine. Those are fine hits for us. I'm come on. Oh, man. Dinosaur. I gotta go back and play some dinosaurs. Oh, yeah. Island. Fantastic draw from our deck. Hydro-Man? Not Hydro-Man. Please not. All right. GG, opponent. That is some remarkable skill from our opponent's side of the field. Somehow stacking the deck to have Conduit Pylons nail those Gishaths. I'm salty. You put good cards in your deck, and that's what happens, right? That's exactly what happened for our opponent. They put good cards in their deck, and it worked out. We have 2 Boomerang Basics and a Flow State with a Hydro-Man. I don't think this is really good enough. It's close, but it's not quite there. This hand looks a little bit better. Unfortunately, I think it's probably the Drake Hatcher that I have to end up throwing away. Turn 1, Elusive Otter. Turn 2, Planisphere, and then hope that we find like a Stormchaser's Talent. Yeah. What are you on, Tora 3? Hello to you. Very friendly opponent. Give them a wave. You know what? It's appropriate that an opponent... Hey. Oh, I let on that a little bit too quickly. It's fine. Maybe it's fine. You know what? I've been running out the Elusive Otter every single time. Maybe it's the Stormchaser's Talent is the first thing to do. Just copy the opponent. They are on the Izzet version of our deck, though, which is probably a little bit more potent, and they have a wonderful flying OTK creature sitting over there, ready to annihilate us. I'm so dead. Yeah. So what do? I Planisphere and die? Yeah. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes that's just the MTG standard experience for you. Sometimes you find an opponent who Conduit Pylons into Gishath top decks. Sometimes you... Hello? What was that about, opponent? You sure you don't want to do a little bit more to me? Okay. Surely you have something. Maybe they have, like, counter magic or something like that. Interesting. We find another land. Okay. Opt to try to find something. Pump up the team. Surely we're dead next turn. Boomerang basic. That allows me to bounce one of the Slickies, which maybe buys me a little bit of time. I don't hate that plan, right? Okay. Get out of here, Slickshot. Of course, they can replay it, but it's going to cost them 2 mana. And if they decide to save it with like a secret identity this turn, then they're using the secret identity now, not later, to kill me. Best case, you know, best thing I can do. There's a secret identity. Okie dokie. So they now have 2 cards in hand. We're going to get in for... How scared am I of this otter? Is this otter going to kill me? Do I need to block with the 5/5? Let's hold the 5/5 back. It's a little bit harder for them to deal with. They can't hit it with like a burst lightning. They got to deal 16 points of damage. Last turn, they didn't do anything. And they had to burn their secret identity there. Oh, lordy. Okay, their shield's down. What? Why did they attack? Why did they attack? Huh. Okay, I guess I just win? Secret identity on the Planisphere. It goes up to an 8, and then we Stormchaser into flow state. Yeah, sometimes you just get some weird... I guess the opponent had such an awkward draw from their side of the yeah, field. That was just weird. That's a weird one. But there you go. Exaxes, 10 damage on Tora 3. GG. I thought I was in a much worse position going into that. That game just kind of left me a little bit lost for words, I think. Okay, we've got 2 more games going with... Mono Blue Otter Drake Otters, sure, and Planispheres. Planisphere in that last game looked pretty dang good to me. It was putting out quite a bit of power, and I don't know what a starting town means from the opponent, so we draw another land. Our deck very, very good at drawing our lands when we have too many. Blooming Marsh, not what I really want to see. Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, so it's possible that they have a Requiting Hex, and I really don't want to lose my Hydro-Man, so I think I would rather lose a Planisphere. We'll go out with the... Oh, the opponent desperately drawing. Gigalad 6543 or 6543. How would you read it? A Lumbering World Wagon. So, are we ramping into Ugin? Are we doing scary? Are we doing World War Hulk? Is this a replay of game number 3? Am I dead? Am I dead? Okay. So, we may as well opt just to get a little bit of extra power out of our Planisphere and get rid of our 6th land so that we can find another Planisphere. We don't really want more Planispheres, please. You know what I miss? Haste. I miss Wild Ride. I will say fully, I miss Wild Ride. So the opponent has a Kona tapping down the Lumbering World Wagon. What nasty thing are they putting onto the field, and can we stop it with a secret identity? I sure hope so. I did not expect a Kona coming out of this deck. But without the Into the Flood Maw, we are really up a creek right now. Let's see. Surprise me. A Bahamut, you say? Okay. Oh, yeah. They so correctly decide to blow up the Planisphere. And now we have a 9/9 Bahamut staring us in the face. And what do I do about that? I guess I go Planisphere into Elusive Otter into die. They're going to get another trigger of this next turn. We can protect something. Unfortunately, our hero is not getting bigger. So do we just go double? Yeah, I think we just go double Planisphere. Hopes and prayers. Pretty cool. I love seeing Bahamuts hit in the field. Even if they're spanking me down, I still do really love seeing Bahamuts. Okay. We do have mana open thanks to Hydro-Man, so our secret identity can protect something if we need to chump block something. We're taking 9 damage. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's fine. But yeah, no matter what, we're taking 9. We might also take 7 more from the Lumbering World Wagon. So one of these, probably the 2/2, has to jump in front of the Rescue. No, not the Rescue Beastie, the World Wagon. I mean, we're dead. We're dead. We're very dead. This. They find a Zombify. Goodness gracious. That is... Oh, they just find it and leave it on the top. Okay. Sure. Why not attack? Why not crew with the summon and then attack with the Rescue Beastie? That's what I'm wondering now. Okay, they're up to 22. We're just going through the motions. We are deader than dead. But I'm going to see. I want to see what they're going to put onto the field. Another Lumbering World Wagon. That's okay. It's really, really cool. Next turn, they just draw 2 cards. Just draw 2 cards. Not a big deal. And we draw a land. So what we can do is we can equip Diana onto the Hydro-Man and then get in for some amount of damage. It's so futile. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to say, you know what? I too can do some amounts of damage. Pitifully. Oh, man. Sure. GG, opponent. Cool deck. Very cool deck. It's, you know what? You'd like to see Kona doing something a little bit different. And that's a different type of Kona. You know, Kona's not going to be sticking around for much longer. Kona Omniscience has given Kona such a bad rap. But, like, when you're doing Kona into Bahamut, crewing a Lumbering World Wagon, I mean, that's fair. Okay, our final opponent. Nice. Definitely inappropriate name. We get to go first. We have our Hydro-Man and our Drakecatcher. So let's see if these 2 heroes can actually get the job done. Llanowar Elf. Pretty good from the opponent. I think probably we lead on the Hydro-Man. It's going to be a better card overall. We need to find maybe an opt. Would be kind of nice. Enduring Vitality. We are against otters. Or not otters. We are against squirrels. Which the Into the Floodmaw is actually going to be pretty good here. And I think maybe just the Boomerang Basic to block yeah. Let's just do that. Boomerang Basic, bounce, the Enduring Vitality. It really sets them back. It allows us to get in for 4 points of damage here. And then next turn, we can do a bunch of stuff. On their turn, we can maybe bounce whatever they do again with the Into the Floodmaw. Okay, fine. 4 mana for the opponent. Do they use that 4 mana for the Enduring Vitality? Yes. Fine. Pass it back to us. So we want to do as much damage as we possibly can on the next turn. And I think probably that means getting rid of the Enduring Vitality one more time. It's all bad, right? But this might push them into a spot where they kind of have to block with the Badger Mole Cub. Ooh, Secret Identity. Okay, hang on. How much damage do we actually have? Let's lead on the Sleight of Hand, I think. Flow State's pretty good. Island gives us another 1 CMC play. Am I just crashing in? So they're going to have a ton of mana next turn. That's the problem. They're going to have 2/4. They can actually have enough mana to maybe go infinite with squirrels if they have the right cards. So I think I probably need to hit something with this Pin Particle. And that's not the something that I needed to hit. Okie doke. Probably we're dead. Let's see if they block. They don't block, right? No. Well, best thing I can do is put maximum amounts of damage on the opponent and get the Drakecatcher up to a 6/7. Nice. And that allows me to make 2 Drakes. But I think probably what ends up happening here is they just do the combo. Now, it is possible that the squirrels whiff here. Yeah, it is possible. But with Badger Mole Cub plus Enduring Vitality, with creatures on the field, I don't really think it's possible. There's the Nature's Rhythm to go and grab another Badger Mole Cub, which allows... Oh, Shang-Chi. Sure. Which allows them now to tap for 2 and 1. So they have 3 mana available to them, I believe. He can tap. He taps for this, add 2 mana of any one color, spend this mana only to activate abilities, and the Badger Mole Cub allows it to create 1 green. So although this mana is useless, he is still being tapped, gives the 1 green mana, and then the Badger Mole Cub can just tap because of the Enduring Vitality. It taps for whatever and creates a green mana in addition because of the Badger Mole Cub. So I think it gives them 3. 3 is not enough. I think they actually needed a little bit more. A little bit more chutzpah. And the second Enduring Vitality means that we have our chance. We need a... Oh, I don't think we actually have it. As sad as it is, because I can activate the Drakecatcher, but I'm a little bit short on damage. They are going to have to block with the Shang-Chi. Ooh. Opt is good. Okay, Opt. I think we do it pre-combat because we have too many sorcery speed spells. Oh, would you believe it? The miracle with the Willow Rush Verge in hand gives us the damage we need in the air. We do it for X3. This creature. Boom. Let's do it that way. And that's enough damage to take down. Yeah, we're going full on. GG, opponent. What a tight one. Opt, thank you so much for saving my behind. We needed a nice little win on the end there. At going 6-4 overall. And you know what? The Drakecatcher did something. All right, so Mono Blue Prowess proving that it's not so bad. It gets the job done. It definitely doesn't have the same power behind it that an Izzet Prowess list would have, but it does have a whole lot of entertainment when you are playing it. Cards like Hydro-Man and the Planisphere just add this extra little layer to this deck that just make it fun. I don't know exactly what it is about the deck, but I have so much more fun when I play this type of deck versus the Izzet Prowess Slickshot show-off decks. Of course, those decks are more powerful. They're better for ranking up and doing all that stuff. You're just going to punch through people. But this deck, I think, just has like slightly more charm to it. Maybe this is the right thing that I want to say. I'm not exactly sure. I love the idea of like digging through your deck, trying to find the answers. Obviously, drawing cards with things like Flow State is very, very satisfying. And overall, I think it's good enough. And certainly fun enough. So this one, definitely try it out. Probably it pales in comparison to even other mono blue lists, such as the ones that are using Eddie Merc Crab. Those are probably just going to be better. You know, they're also doing Stormchaser Talent plus Boomerang Basic and the Elusive Otter, but then they're also running 4 Eddie Merc Crab and a whole bunch of sorceries and instants to put in the graveyard. Through that, you're able to tap down the opponent and control the board very effectively and then swing in very, very efficiently. With this, Hydro-Man, Drakecatcher, even the Planisphere, you don't really see these cards popping up in those lists because they're probably just like not quite good enough. But I like them and I like them all. So I do keep gravitating towards them. Every time I see a deck with these cards in it, I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, let's throw it up and try it out and see what we can make happen. And you know what? I think the end result was at least a little bit entertaining. As long as your opponent doesn't Conduit Pylon into Gishath, into Conduit Pylon, into Gishath, I'm not going to get over it. I'm going to be salty about it. I'm going to go on vacation and constantly think, I'm not going to think about it. I'm exaggerating, of course, but it was pretty annoying when it happened. Anyways, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about Drakecatcher. We talked about it before, but do you think it looks a little bit better in this shell? Also, where are we on the Planisphere? Is it good enough? I like it, but I'm not sure. I do like the idea of like permanent prowess, pseudo prowess. It is only on no, it's on non-creature spells. So yeah, it's kind of like permanent prowess. It's really cool. We never really got to see the draw your third card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I think this is put into your hand. So the odds of us triggering the Planisphere's extra ability, very, very low. Anyways, always looking to hear opinions on the decks that I'm playing. If you've tried them out, let me know if you've had success or met horrible, problematic failure with them. You get what I'm saying. And yeah, keep enjoying your summer. Take care for now. Next time, The Hobbit will probably be out. I believe this is probably going to be my last pre-Hobbit standard video. I may do a Brawl video. I'm thinking about it. The Brawl video might actually already be out. I haven't exactly planned how the videos are going to fall out. I'm kind of like batch recording because of the upcoming holidays. But yeah, I think the next video we'll see is either going to be Brawl or Hobbit related. So hopefully the Hobbits bring us some new entertainment and we can find some cool decks to try out on the ladder. So I will see you in the Shire, I suppose. Take care for now. Sarang Ipana, and bye-bye.